Right, okay, it's 7 minutes past 6, and now it's time to speak to a Dunfermline and Glasgow-based acoustic duo who have been amazing audiences in Glasgow, Fife, and pretty much worldwide through the internet, Facebook and MySpace. Patrick Wallace and Ross Somerville, a.k.a. Streetlight, have been going since 2009, and their most recent effort is releasing a brand new EP that was a year in the making, The Pace of the World, a 4-track EP that's out this week. And I was speaking to them on Wednesday about the EP, its star track, and much, much more you can hear on the Friday Night Lounge just now. Patrick and Ross, good evening and welcome back to the Friday Night Lounge.
Evening, Matthew.
Evening, Matthew.
Thanks very much. So, how are you guys?
Good, eh?
Doing good.
It's been listening to our CD.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Been a busy week?
Oh,
Has been so far, yeah.
very busy.
The Pace of the World EP. What was the starting point for the EP?
Well,
We always kind of wanted to release something. That just like, because we've been talking about releasing an album or an EP for like since the beginning of time. So you know, it was so delayed, but like, you know, I think at the turn of the year we kind of decided, you know, we're actually writing probably some of our best stuff, our best stuff to date. So we thought we'd get it down.
it also came about, like, we had a guy who was able to record us in a really good studio, really good facilities, and he got in touch, and that was kind of the starting point for Ross and myself.
Yeah. Once we knew it was free. So.
A freebie's always good. A freebie is always good. You did the gigging first, and then you did the EP quite recently.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to do it later? Why not the other way round?
I don't think we'd be really doing ourselves justice if we'd released our early tracks on an EP. I think we've got better as time's gone on, and I think you get better the more you play gigs and the more you kind of find your sound. So I think it was important for us to take some time to discover our best stuff before we launch straight into recording.
Yeah, I mean, we'd recorded like demos and stuff like that, but it's like nothing serious, and like we wanted this first one to be like, you know, something that I don't know, just something that was definitely our best stuff and wasn't just like kind of a scratchy demo.
You did mention that this EP was about bringing different ideas together. It's a bit of a contradiction, isn't it, in a way, different ideas coming together. Wouldn't that cause a bit of conflict?
Ross and I have got we've both got similar music tastes, but we both like stuff that the other doesn't really listen to, so we both kind of have contrasting music tastes as well, and I think that's what makes our sound so interesting, because we kind of blend the two together. And it was about bringing all those ideas into one collective short album.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be boring if it was all the same idea.
So I take it you have an open-minded approach to musical styles then?
Yeah,
I suppose so. It's always been that kind of free-flowing sort of style with our music. I mean, we have practiced and made it a bit more rigid, but it's always had that freedom about it, which is always good.
Pace of the World, the main sort of themes are sort of relationships, challenges and obstacles faced through life. So would you say that Pace of the World EP is a commentary of everyday life?
Well, for me, the main theme of the EP is change. So I suppose so, yeah. I mean, last year was a big year for myself personally, moving away from home and saying goodbye to people, meeting new people, and growing up a wee bit. So I guess that's kind of the main theme for me.
Yeah, I think it was also important. Like, I was like, personally, I think we both like kind of telling a story, like through music. I think that's a really nice touch. I think it's a bit more than your just kind of casual love ballads. You know what I mean?
It's more than all the artists just now that just go on about how they want to go to a club and take someone home.
That's true.
And so we wanted to write something a bit more personal, a bit more meaningful.
But that's just us, though. You know what I mean? That's just like, that's the way we've kind of moulded our style, and that's what we, especially lyrically, that's where we're kind of going with things just now. So,
how did the EP in general contribute to Streetlight's evolution in terms of musical style?
I think that recording an EP means that you know the parts better, which I think really makes a difference live.
Yeah.
Because Ross and I, it isn't a bad thing, but we tend to kind of improvise on stage
quite a lot.
And but this means now that we've got the tracks down and we listen to them, that we have a more firm idea of what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it makes it easier to kind of incorporate different parts when you've got the song completely 100% finished.
Yeah.
Now, there's only 4 tracks on the EP. I take it there was a lot of songs that had to go by the wayside.
Oh yeah, we had a short list of like outside the 4 that were picked. There was probably about another three or 4.
We could have had 8 songs in the EP, but we wanted to keep it short.
These are definitely the best songs we've got. Unfortunately, we wrote a song called "The Path" that we thought was still a pretty good song, and we still play it live. It goes down well. You just got to be ruthless, eh? It's just not.
Now, talking about the EP's development, Jamie Stewart from
Hero
from In Tune Unsigned and Sidetracked was involved in producing the EP. What did he contribute to the pace of the world?
Just about everything. Absolutely brilliant to work with. He recorded all the parts. He was patient with us when we didn't know what we were doing. He gave us lifts everywhere. He let us stay at his flat overnight. He was as dedicated to it as we were. We can't thank him enough.
He did bring like a real wave of kind of professionalism, and which is something that maybe before we started working with Jamie, we didn't have too much, especially when it comes to recording and when it comes to getting down your work. His professionalism was really helpful to both of us.
So was he really a sort of mentor-like figure as well as a collaborator?
I don't know if he was a mentor, but we could definitely trust him with everything. But me and Jamie share quite a lot of. We've got a similar kind of taste in music, and so when we were all sitting down and mixing together, we could trust him to be honest with us and say, "No, I don't like that," or "No, it would sound better if you did this." Yeah. And we really value that, because it would have been easy for him to just sit back and go, "You guys do it."
And what would you say is the biggest thing you've learnt out of collaborating with Jamie?
Ross can go first.
Was that the thing you learned?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I think it was just that sort of professionalism. Like, it definitely rubbed off on both of us. Absolutely. And he brought so much knowledge, and like even like when he was recording it, all the wee fancy bits he put in, like, oh, maybe you could try something here, and it all added to our sound, and like we've got a kind of better idea of like our capabilities as well. Because he really, especially when he was recording your vocals, he told you to really push it. And when I was recording guitar parts, he says, "Oh, I think you could do it better. I think you could do something different," and that's brought out the best in us, I think. Yeah.
Now, one of the tracks that is on the EP, and this one actually went through a lot of evolutions, it's Demons. Now, what sparked the idea of Demons in the first place?
Well, Demons was a song that I wrote a very long time ago. A song about, I was out camping, and it was originally about a story, again, about one of my friends got drunk and tried to chat up one of my other friends, and I was just sitting there, and it was a really nice atmosphere with the camp, and I thought, oh, this is hilarious, like, I've got to write a wee song about it.
Now, I was actually there for the original version of Demons, the demo in Tower House, and I was there in the recording session, and just tell us, for those who don't really appreciate the recording process, how do these jigsaw pieces come together to make this track?
Basically, we just first of all, we usually just start with like recording both of our guitar parts, and both just recording it quite raw at first, just the raw tracks, and then over that you can go mental with the amount of stuff you can put in. We just kind of listen back to it. And like Pat's usually got quite a good ear for it, and kind of figures out some extra bits like piano parts and different riffs, and like sometimes I'll come up with like I remember in the demo like I used some guitar effects in that, and just to fill out the sound a bit more. But yeah, you start with the core tracks first, and then you build around it.
It has changed and evolved over a period of months, and it did literally take months to record this track, didn't it?
Oh yeah, we it was a track that took longest, definitely, but we didn't want to neglect the other 3. I think all the tracks took a similar time, because you don't want to focus specifically on one.
Was this due to college and university commitments? The reason why it took so long to do?
It's also trying to get the studio time. I mean, fair enough, Jamie was doing it for free, but like, you know, he's doing a sound production course, and so, you know, he needed to get his own studio time to do our stuff, as well as about the million other things that he was doing. But I think that was quite tricky. But like, actually, Pace of the World didn't take too long.
The title track.
How long did it take?
Well, that's probably the shortest. Well, it's the shortest one lyrically, but
it's one we had finished first.
Yeah.
And it's not the shortest song. Comic Book is the shortest song, but Pace of the World, we knew from the start exactly what we wanted from it, like, because we'd had it. Whereas other songs kind of changed a wee bit during the recording. Pace of the World stayed the same the whole way through because we'd already written that, and we all had it in our heads from the very start.
Could you just go through what changes did you make in this version of Demons?
It's quicker.
Yeah, that's a big change.
Which also, it doesn't, I think, not that it dragged in the first demo, but it was a bit slow for my liking. And so we did up the tempo, and I think automatically upping the tempo, you're upping the mood a little bit. So you've not got this really kind of slow ballads, you've got this kind of medium paced moving kind of, but you're still getting the lyrics across and the atmosphere across. But primarily I think the thing that changed was we wanted it to be quicker. No,
definitely the pace change was quicker, and then, you know, we worked on the vocal harmony as well, like, and obviously, you know, that gives it, you know, that adds to the atmosphere, even though it's quicker. You know, the backing vocals are still quite, I don't know, I think they're still kind of haunting in a way. So there is that element that's still there from the original. With all the changes you've made, do you feel that Demons is clicking into place now?
I think it has.
Yeah. Yeah, especially live. We're still kind of practicing it for live, because it's always been one song that we when we're practicing, it's like, no, we know what we're doing, it's fine. And then, you know, when it gets towards the end, towards a gig, and we're like, oh no, I haven't actually practiced this in ages. But like, no, we've kind of sat down and just kind of trying to replicate what we did in the studio as much as we can. But yeah, I mean, this is probably it. There's not going to be another version of Demons.
There's not going to be a Demons 3.0 then?
It kind of is. It kind of is in a way, because of Daniel Ferguson, what he did. He added in his own lyrics that weren't originally going to be there.
Yeah, we I suppose, if you like, Matthew, the original song that Ross recorded on his computer and put on Bebo was Demons 1, and then when we went into the studio with yourself, that was Demons 2. I think this is Demons 3, really, because we've now got in the middle section we've got this really kind of powerful vocal section from our friend Daniel Ferguson,
who's in Rewired, I believe.
Rewired, yeah. And that just adds so much to the song, and so yeah, I suppose this is Demons to its full potential. I wouldn't want to make any changes now.
No, definitely not.
And I believe I'm still in there as well.
Absolutely, we copied and pasted your original vocal part. So it's not prominent, but you do feature. If
you do listen very, very carefully, you will actually notice that. Let's hear the latest version of Demons from The Pace of the World on Radio West Fife.
Why you trying so hard on this night when you're in this state of mind? It's like your words of wisdom have touched us all. They made us laugh, and now you'll pay the price. Sit and stare at all the stars in the sky. Then you turn to catch that look in her eye. You think that you've hit the jackpot, but you've not. You just found the demons. She's not all that impressed with you this week. but you'll seize your last chance. You say 3 words, she walks away. Even the brightest of fireworks fade. Sit and stare at all the stars in the sky. Then you turn to catch that look in her eye. You think that you've hit the jackpot, but you've not. Just found a demon.
Okay, that was Demons from The Piece of the World, the 4-track EP that Streetlight have released this week. And this is Matthew Hansen on the Friday Night Lounge on Radio West Fife. And guess what? We're actually speaking to Streetlight about their EP, and we've just talked about Demons. Now, the EP is not the only thing you've been doing. You've also been doing a couple of other things on your own. Patrick, in particular, you've been making the journey into stardom with with Rudard the Bard. So just
Rowan the Bard.
Rodan the Bard.
Rowan the Bard.
Rowan.
Rowan the Bard.
Okay. you made the trip to stardom in a feature film. So tell us how you became involved in the movie.
Well, being at college, studying acting, you're wanting as much experience as you can possibly get. And it was after I didn't get into the RSAMD, the Royal Scottish Academy of Music and Drama, for a second time, that I kind of I went back to college, and I thought, well, I need to find something to do to prove that I can still do this.
Yeah.
To prove that I can still do acting. And I went online, and I just searched online for opportunities for a couple of hours in the library, and I came across this Scottish feature film called Rowan the Bard. I thought it was Rude and the Bard at the start as well, by the way. It's not just you.
Okay.
And
it's not a fraudulent slip from me. Okay.
no, it's spelt quite strange. But I read about it, and I thought, that sounds brilliant. And I went for this audition in Edinburgh and did pretty well. And they asked me to come for a callback. On the same day as the callback, I was filming for the BBC as an extra.
All right.
That finished at 7:25. My audition was at 7:30, like 3 miles down the road.
What were you as an extra? What show was that?
It's in a drama called Lip Service.
All right.
Look out for me. I'm in the office.
Lip Service.
But I had to run from the St Enoch shopping centre where they were filming to the Brigade in Glasgow. I didn't know where I was going, so that probably made it feel longer. But I got there on time, and I auditioned, and I got the part. So 2 weeks later, I was down in 2 weeks later I was down in the Isle of Whithorn, which is right down the south of Scotland, shooting a film, my first feature film, which will hopefully be in the film festival circuit, and maybe more than that next year. But with the potential, I feel, to compete with the high budget films, because I think it was brilliantly shot, and we had a few kind of minor Scottish celebrities in it as well.
Norman MacLean is one of them.
Norman MacLean, yeah. Was a comedian and author.
The Gaelic Billy Connolly, as they say.
Sheila Stewart and Margaret Bennett as well, who are world-renowned Scottish folk singers. Who are just absolutely brilliant. And I think that'll appeal to folk. It's got a really nice Scottish feel to it. And it's a great storyline as well. So
with a young and a more experienced cast, should I say, I take it this will have wide-ranging appeal.
I hope so. Yeah, it's all about Scotland's past and all about what's happening to Scotland at the moment. And I think people should really take notice of it. I think it's a really nice wee film. And hopefully it makes people open their eyes a bit more.
Flipping the other side of the coin, Ross was busy in Somerville Manor, composing some soundtrack compositions. Now, why did you decide to do soundtrack composing?
Well, I always was having a bash at it, because when I've been studying film and theatre at Glasgow, and throughout my theatre course, especially this year from January up to about May, we've been doing this big project basically. It had a performance at the end of it, and it was really cool to be part of that. I got put in charge of music and whatnot, record anything for that. I always thought this is something that I could do. Yeah, this is something that I'd be really interested in. I've always kind of taken notice of soundtracks and films, and actually that piece of music works really well there. Why? I've always kind of said, oh, why? What's behind it? I've always had a really big interest in it. So
I take it there was a lot of experimentation that you had to do for the composing these tracks.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's very different to what I do with Streetlight, and that was always the intention. That was always the intention, just kind of for me to be kind of locked away in a room somewhere and with my guitar and my effects pedal and God knows what else, cupboard doors, anything, So
experimentation to the extreme, basically.
Yeah, sometimes, but I mean, yeah, I think you have to really go there sometimes to kind of just see what works and what doesn't. It might work.
What did you learn from doing the soundtrack composing?
I learned that just how much I could do with just a computer and like GarageBand and like a keyboard, guitar, just like very limited stuff. And like, you know, it's not obviously the sound quality kind of varies. Like, I'm not a masterful sound production like or a sound engineer, but you know, like I just learned so much, like just kind of pushing the limits really of what I had and what means I had. But yeah, that's like, you know, I think I will bring it into like just my guitar playing and whatnot. You know, I've learned quite a lot of new techniques and whatnot.
So bringing the so doing all these sort of tracks that you've got on your SoundCloud page, which is soundcloud.com/sombreroville91, I believe it is.
That's right. Well remembered.
Very good memory, actually. Experimentation on various ends of the spectrum. You've got ambient, you've got alternative rock, and you even got a big dance tune, which I think could fill the nightclub scene if you actually get that out there, New Horizons. But so is it just really pushing yourself to the limit in terms of musical ability?
Yeah, where I can go next? You mean it will be like the jungle drums out next? You know, like, I think all of it's kind of that alternative rock, that kind of ambient. Comes from kind of living in Glasgow, and like Glasgow music seems really kind of like that. It's very heavy on the kind of ambience and alternative rock, and even like the dance tunes. Like, you know, like whenever I've been to the Arches, like there's always been like great DJs on there, and like they've got their electronic music's just brilliant, and I've always been an admirer of that, and you know, inspired by people like John Hopkins as well, who's just an absolute genius. So if you want to check out Ross's solo work, solo musical pieces, I recommend you do, actually, because it would surprise you to see how much genius there is in those tracks. Hey, I'm just glad people are seemingly enjoying them. So,
and you can enjoy them at soundcloud.com/sombreroville91, which we will have a link to. Arriba! Exactly. Which we will have a link to on our Best Bits Netcast website, which you can listen to the interview, by the way, from Friday night on the Friday Night Lounge Netcast site at fridaynightlounge.podbean.com. Now, let's move on to where Streetlight is going in the future. Now, Ross, you're not going to be here for the next few months. You're going away to converse with the mooses, the bears, and the deers.
Yeah.
Boo indeed.
Boos from the terraces.
So you're going away to Canada as part of your university course. Are we still going to see some of the solo work that's on your SoundCloud page?
Quite possibly. If I can find a way to record it, I will do, because, you know, being in a different place can start to spark different ideas as well. Like, I mean, even just moving rooms can, like, just being in a new place and new surroundings. So yeah, maybe if I can find the means to record it, I might do, if I find time. I've still got to work over there, you know, like I've still got to study.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It's not all fun and games. Like.
Exactly. Canada's not exactly a cheap place to go, so...
It's alright. It's alright.
I'm sure you'll have a good time.
No, yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to it. Unfortunately, I'm leaving quite a lot behind, but this was my decision that I took very early on in the year. I'm just going to do this.
I'm really miss you.
That's it.
Just invest in the Moose language courses, you'll be fine. So, meanwhile, back in Scotland, Patrick, you're taking Streetlight to the next step. Just tell us what's the changes.
Well, we won't have Ross, and pretty soon we're going to have to get used to that. But I don't want Streetlight to stop for 8 or 9 months, because it's fun, it's good, and we write good music. So we definitely want. We're not exactly going to change the sound drastically when Ross is gone to like a blues band or a heavy metal band or anything. We're still going to be acoustic Streetlight, you know. But we have introduced some new members who are practicing with us at the moment. Not really confirmed as band members yet, but they hopefully will be, if all goes well, if the gigs go well.
Right.
And that'll mean that we can carry on the sound, and we can carry on performing.
Now, you've established yourself quite a bit now. You've now got about 510 fans on Facebook, and the revolution's continuing to grow. Aren't you in danger of alienating your audience? Because what you're saying to me doesn't really sound like what Streetlight is the acoustic duo. Are you in danger of alienating your audience?
We'll still be Streetlight. We'll still have the acoustic sound. We'll still be playing the same songs with a few new songs as well. As I say, we're not going to change drastically just because we're adding sound. If you listen to the EP, we're much better than we were 2 years ago. We're much more mature, and that's only going to build momentum.
It's going to build momentum.
I think that as well, like whatever new songs that come out in that eight month period will be, quite similar, like in a similar style, because like it's still Patrick that's going to be there and churning out the songs for 8 months and whatnot. So I don't think things will change too much. We'll still have that kind of acoustic sound.
I swear now on Radio West Fife, Friday Night Lounge with Matthew Hansen, that we're not gonna change too much. We're gonna make ourselves better. We're gonna enhance the sound. We're gonna make ourselves better. You can never rule anything out.
Well, you've heard it here first, and that's recorded, so we'll play it back to him in 6 months if he ever does change his mind.
We'll play it back to us when we're the blues band. Tribute to Stevie Wonder.
Well, that would be quite a tribute band, actually. And how will you fit into these new plans, Ross?
I'm already fitting into these new plans. I'm already practicing with the band. Like, I don't know. I think I'll always be welcome. Like I'm already, like I said, we're already rehearsing and whatnot. So when I come back, it will just be a case of just play a bit of catch up, and then once we're together and like add a few practices, then it can kind of get back to where we left off. Really, I mean that's it. It's seamless.
Excellent. And now, if we want to get the EP, how do we go about getting this EP?
Well, keep checking for updates on the Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/Streetlight Acoustic. And
we're playing at Page Malloy's 19th of July, and then we're playing at the Aberdeen Festival, Bands by the Sands, on the 2nd of August. Yeah, so come along. We will be selling EPs there as well. So, and please come along and support the band and say hi to us, and we'll say hi back, and we'll get to know you.
They are
you're a new fan.
They're the people's band, Streetlight.
We are the people.
Yeah.
Nice one. Facebook.com/Streetlight
Acoustic.
Exactly, is where you can find all one word and in lowercase. Facebook.com/Streetlight Acoustic is where you can find out about Streetlight's gigs, music, and, well, really general banter and general shenanigans, really. We're going to end this interview with another track of your EP, off the Pace of the World EP. It's the Pace of the World, and we're going to end with that just now. So, Patrick Wallace, Ross Somerville, it's been an absolute pleasure having you in the studio, by the way. Thank you very much, guys, for coming into the Friday Night Lounge.
We love you, Matthew, and it's quite alright.
We love you, Matthew.
We want it. No, we don't.
No, it's been our pleasure as well.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
For all your help. Worth noting to everybody, Matthew would never say this himself, but for over 2 years, Matthew Hansen has been absolutely fantastic for Streetlight. He helped us from the very start. He helped us with our demo recordings done in the school. He helped us record our demo, which we talked about, Demons, back in last September. He's always been there to help us. He's always been there to give us advice. He's always been there to give us a dose of reality. And he's always been a fantastic friend throughout. So we'd like to say thank you to Matthew, and it's an absolute pleasure coming on your show tonight.
Thanks very much, guys. That was Streetlight, also known as Patrick Wallace and Ross Somerville. And here is Pace of the World from the EP of the same name. Matthew Hansen on Radio West Fife on the Friday Night Lounge. Hansen's View, and we'll talk to Rick Bell in just a little while. excellent. That was Pace of the World by Streetlight, and thanks to Streetlight for coming on to the programme as well. The Pace of the World, their new EP, the 4-track EP, is out now, and it costs £4, £1 a track. Now that is an absolute bargain, and seriously, it's a bargain for something that is really that good. I don't normally say this, but I've listened to many unsigned tracks over the last few months and the last year or so, and none of them have come as impressive as that EP. It just totally blew me away when I was given the tracks to listen to in preparation for the interview. So I recommend you actually get the EP, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a very good friend of theirs. Get the EP. It's going to be the best £4 you've ever spent.